With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Hands to Hester, and Hester, yep, got it, 5 out of 5.
From carrying each other to a natty to carrying each other on the air.
Flynn is back to throw from the end zone.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, it's Off the Bench.
Welcome in hour number 3, the final hour of a Monday edition of Off the Bench. Taylor Sharp sitting in the host chair for our guys, Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn, both of which will be back tomorrow on Tuesday. Right now, we do it every Monday around this time. Let's go out to the phone lines. Our guy, Devin Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo, on the phone right now. Dev, how are you this morning, bud?
Oh, I'm doing great. What's up, bro? How you doing?
I am doing good. Not as good as you. You were out there living it up at UFC 318 this weekend. How was that?
Oh, man, it was everything. You know, I've been waiting for this to happen for years, but it was everything I imagined, like times 10. You know, it was just a huge success. It was electric, man. First time I've had a UFC event, and it did not fall short whatsoever.
Was this your first UFC event going to?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I don't travel much, you know what I'm saying? So I had to wait, and dude, it was worth the wait.
You know, I was looking last night and I'm like, man, did the city of New Orleans do enough to get more events like this? How about this, Dev? That fight between Poirier and Holloway, the most expensive gate, meaning they made the most money of any event ever in the Smoothie King Center. They sold it out. I mean, fans showed up. Like, I have to imagine there's going to be another fight coming to the Big Easy pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is go look at the clip when Poirier knocked Max Holloway down. I believe it was in the second round when he knocked him down and he went for the guillotine. When you listen to the pop of that crowd, I mean, if I'm Dana White sitting right there, I'm like, right when I hear that, I'm like, dude, we gotta figure out when we coming back, man, because it was, like I said, man, it was electric, bro. Like, people showed up. It was a great crowd. It was once in a lifetime, but now I would say, hey, man, this has got to be several times a lifetime after that.
Right. As far as the fight itself goes, though, like it obviously goes the distance. It's a Max Holloway unanimous decision. So many people out there are like, oh, I would have judged the fight differently. I thought it was evident that Max Holloway won the fight. What were your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, if you watch the fight, you would, you would definitely be able to take away that Max Holloway won the fight. Hey, man, it was a good fight, right? It wasn't a legendary, all-time fight, no. But, I mean, these two guys have done that every time they step in the octagon. Dustin Poirier don't really have anything left to prove. This was just a final send-off for him. I mean, I think that they did it right. The prelims were bangers. I mean, the first 5 fights all finished with a finish. So the prelims were electric. It was just one of those things, man. You had to be there from fight 1 to the end. I was there for 7 hours, dude. From 5 p.m. to 1:30 a.m.
Where'd you sit? How good were the seats?
I was in row 101. Section 101, row 11. So they were great seats. They were amazing. And I'm going to tell you, I saved up for over 6 months to get them seats. It was worth it, dude. No vacation this year, so I just did that.
I mean, that is the vacation. All right, who do we see? Like, I saw Theo Vaughn showing up, like, before prelims. Like, he was locked in. He was there about as long as you were. Like, who were some of the big names you saw walk in?
I mean, there was a lot of, like, notable UFC fighters there, you know. You had Justin Gaethje there. You had Michael Chandler there. Korean Zombie was there. Diego Lopez was there. You know, there's a lot of notable UFC people. Of course, like, the who's who, like, in the state. They were all there, you know. It was, Cam Jordan, Blake Groupie was in there. Blake Groupie's everywhere. Blake Groupie goes everywhere, dude. I'm telling you, bro, nobody gets around the city more than Blake Groupie, bro. I see him literally everywhere.
You know, I was telling me and Alondra were kind of recapping the fight at 7:45 because she was there as well. And, you know, I was asking, like, I've never been to a UFC event. I imagine, like, everybody talks about it with hockey, right? Like, oh, the TV viewing versus the in-person experience is so much different. I imagine UFC is that and then some in terms of, like, being in the arena, right?
Yeah, no, I watch UFC every Saturday, and I love it. I love sitting in my house watching UFC, but this was, like I said, man, something like you have to experience. Yeah, what can I compare it to, man? It's like going to, like, somebody's concert that people tell you all the time. They're like, man, you have to experience this in person. You know, that's what it was, man. It was a production of a lifetime. And that's why I think UFC is, like, one of the best organizations in the world because, it was such a great production.
Dev, let's switch over something coming up in New Orleans, Saints training camp. Getting ready to start here pretty soon.
Thank God.
Right. Like, man, there is nothing going. Like, thank God there was a UFC event in New Orleans this weekend. Like, there is nothing going on. Like, you had SEC media days, but, you know, that's in Atlanta. Like, there was nothing going on. Like, trust me, for someone that's had to host the show here a lot recently, like, the content, there ain't a lot out there. But look, over the weekend, Tyler Shuck, he got the contract done. He did get that fully guaranteed deal. He'll be locked in for training camp. So him and Rattler obviously battling it out. But, like, outside of the quarterback position, obviously that's where all the talking's going to be. But, like, what are you keeping an eye on?
Receiver, dude. Receiver. We need to find another receiver that's going to be consistent, that we can depend on, a third receiver that can make plays, you know, whether it's Brandon Cooks, whether it's one of these young guys, Bub Means, you know, whoever it is, we got to find another guy. So, I see in the chat, Usman and Mark Ingram was there, Ryan Claude. Yeah. But no, like, just got to find another guy that's consistent, man. I can, you know, stay healthy and make plays, bro. You know, it's not going to be easy for these young quarterbacks. So we got to find one more receiver.
Who do you think that guy is? I know it's a tough question, but, like, who do you think that guy is going into camp? Like, that's going to get the first crack at that fourth spot.
I would hope it's like Bud Means, you know. We drafted him in the 5th round last year. So, I would hope it'd be somebody like him. I think Brandon Cooks is going to be a good addition for the team. He's just got to stay healthy. And that's the same thing with the two guys that are starting, you know, Shaheed and Chris Olave. Both those guys have, like, a little bit of injury history, one a little more than the other. But, one of those guys goes down, bro. It's bad enough these guys they're not big receivers, man. We got a bunch of horse jockeys at receivers. So,
right.
You know, we need somebody who's going to be dependable because that's going to be big for the growth of the quarterbacks, man.
Speaking of dependable, you got a hole at corner right now. Like, it's bad to say, hey, Kool-Aid McKinstry is going to be one of our starters. Like, he's a second-year guy that didn't play a ton, but, like, that's kind of where you're at. Like, I would prefer Alontae Taylor stay in the slot instead of on the outside. Like, you have Quincy Riley. There's been talks of Asante Samuel Jr., but, like, we haven't heard an update in, like, 3 weeks now, so who the hell knows what's going on there. But, like, I guess opposite of McKinstry, who takes that spot? Is it Riley? Is it Isaac Yiadom? Like, what are your thoughts there?
Nobody really, like, jumps out at me. We can't say much about Riley yet because you ain't really seen him play in the league. But, hey, man, it'd be nice to see our draft picks work out like that.
For once,
you know. Yeah, Quincy Riley, like, that would be fire if he was just good, like, the first year, you know. I think that's one of the main things the Saints got to do better with this year is not, like, babying these guys, getting them on the field, right? like how the Dennis Allen regime did.
Right.
Like they very sparingly put, like even with Kool-Aid, you know what I'm saying? Like very sparingly put these guys out on the field. Like I get it, they're young and stuff like that, but it's like, man, throw these guys in the fire, bro. We in a throw in the fire type situation. Like you got to see if these guys can ball or not. So it'd be nice to see like Quincy Riley show up. You know, Yaya, how you say it? Yaya? Yeadam. Okay. I mean, we've seen this guy play. Do we think that this guy's going to turn into a superstar? More than likely
No, I mean,
not,
what? He's
right?
been in the league 8 years. He's kind of just been an average to below average player. Like, that's who he is.
Yeah, that's who he is. So one of you young guys that you drafted needs to step up, whether it's Kool-Aid, whether it's Quincy. Like, somebody's got to make plays out there, man.
Dev, it's so funny. Like, one more for you with the Saints. Like, it's so funny. Like, I just had Ross Jackson on at 8:30, and he brought up a perfect point. Like, there's reason for optimism with the Saints offensive line, and there's reason to be terrified with the Saints offensive line. It's kind of one or the other, depending on where you sit. Like, they bring in Banks. Hopefully Penning works out at guard. You got Fuaga at the other tackle. Like, what are your realistic expectations for this group? Like, my thing is, like, can they be solid?
Well, they should be. They
Right.
should be. I mean, if not, we kind of being lied to, right? I thought Penning last year wasn't awful, right? Like, people were really hard on that guy.
Yeah.
Like, going into last year, very hard on that dude. Like, he's unplayable, blah, 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 blah. I didn't think he was too awful, you know, especially given the situation. But now you even added another guy, dude from Texas. You know, we should be good at O-line. I mean, how many drafts do you want to spend on O-line?
Right. So
I think we talked about this.
4 first-rounders, and then McCoy's a second-rounder. That's your O-line.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
They're averaging picking an O-lineman in the first round or the second round the last 10 years every other year. So, I mean, how many more years do you want to spend on offensive line, right? I mean, eventually you got to be like, hey, this is either it or, you know, we kind of missed. So I think if anything, the O-line should be strong, you know. And even when you start thinking about, like, some of the tight ends we have, you know, some of those guys can block really good too, you know. Foster Moore, not bad. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that aspect of the game, I just think that we should be good enough at O-line to where we can take some shots and see what we got going on at quarterback.
Dev, switching from Devin Snow joining us right now, switching from the Saints to a little bit more entertainment. Obviously, last week, I wanted to get your thoughts on this because I thought you would 100% have an opinion on this. The Astronomer Tech CEO out with his HR lady at the Coldplay concert. What we doing?
I mean, I saw that, dude, and it's just like, first of all, there's a lot of that going on in the country.
Sure. Yes.
More than ever. You know, I'd love to see the statistics on that. Man, very bold by that guy, right? I mean, at the very least, stand behind a few people. This guy is like, you know, not even a row behind anybody. They right in the open. I mean, it's almost like, bro, like, what did you expect? You know what I'm saying? But you know what, bro? We all human. We all make mistakes, I guess. But that one right there, he's gonna have to do a lot of explaining. Her too.
Well, you know, it's funny. Like, I was thinking about this, you know, last week when it first came out. Their reaction didn't help the situation. Like, sure, look, you're already on the big screen, right? Somebody in the crowd's gonna recognize you. I didn't know who the hell this guy was until Wednesday. Like, the video doesn't go viral if you don't freak out and jump under the table.
Yeah, and there's so many other things you could have did, too. You could have held up, like, some drinks in front of your face. You could have, I don't know, man, pull an umbrella out, whatever you got to do, you know what I'm saying? But when you ran like that and you ducked down, that was the end. That was the end, right? Like the guy on the PA. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Well, so Chris Martin of Coldplay is on the mic, and he goes, either they're having an affair or they're really shy. I'm like, well, little did you know, like, this is exactly what's happening. But I don't know if you saw StubHub, like the official StubHub Facebook page, 1 million followers, posted on Friday. They were like doing promos for the StubHub app to get your concert tickets, and they said, we have Coldplay concert tickets for you and your favorite coworker. Like, I mean, the stuff coming out about this is all time.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's funny it's at a Coldplay concert, It's like, I don't know, man, but they could have did better in reaction. They could have did so many things to kind of blow it off nonchalantly in a way. And it wouldn't have made world news.
Exactly. Like it was their reaction did not help things. Deb, before we get you out of here, it's Monday. It's RB&R day. Where are we going?
Alondra, where are we going?
He has absolutely no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea, man.
We should
it's just
stop
another
asking
month
him where he's going.
It's true. You know what? That's a good point.
It's a niche. It's a niche at this point.
So you just go based on vibes, like pretty much permanently at this point.
Very much permanently, dude. Till the end, till the very end. That's how I'm going.
What number are we on right now? I mean, it's what
271.
271.
271 Mondays in a row. That's over 5 years, man. I'm growing old doing this, man.
Man, it's wild. And what you have grown doing like since then, you're absolutely killing it. Dev, thanks so much for hopping on with us.
He told me he was going to do it forever.
Forever? You're going to be like 75 years old walking in with your walker getting the red beans?
No. Absolutely not. I mean, I'll still be eating them then, but it'll be far over from then. But, all good things eventually come to an end, bro, and that's all good things.
That's
Every one
right,
of
man.
them.
That's right. You have absolutely killed it. Dev, thanks so much for the time this morning, bud.
All right, y'all take care. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. That was Devin Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo. All right, we're going to take a quick time out. When we get back, we're talking some LSU next. You're on Off the Bench.
Off the bench. The bench.
All right, go to trashrangers.com. Trashrangers.com, reliable and hassle-free trash removal services in South Louisiana. Residential, commercial, 3 different sizes of roll-off dumpsters as well. You can pick up the phone, give them a call at 225-612-2477. Say, hey, here's what I have. Here's our project. They're going to know how much you are going to be trying to get rid of, and they're going to make sure you have the right roll-off dumpster on your project. Again, go to the website today. That's trashrangers.com.
Yeah, Trash Rangers. Give them a shout. The big red dumpsters, the big red trash cans, residential, business, industrial, whatever your trash needs are, give them a call and let them size it for you. If you're cleaning out your garage, you're cleaning out the attic, you got a commercial project that you just don't know what size you need, let the professionals. And also weekly text reminders. Never forget to take the trash out again. Trash Rangers, trashrangers.com.
From the locker room to the airwaves, it's Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Welcome in Monday edition. I got a little ahead of myself there, guys. I wish it was the end of the week. Monday edition. We still got a long week to go here on Off the Bench. Taylor Sharp with you, filling in for Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. Right now, I want to talk a little LSU football because over the weekend, Hunt Palmer right here at LouisianaSports.net and the folks over at LSU Wire kind of put out a similar list. So for LSU Wire, it was 3 breakout players for LSU. Hunt put out 3 Tigers that could make all SEC. I'm like, okay, well, you got to break out to make all SEC. Those are kind of one and the same. I want to look at both lists, kind of break down the similarities and where they differ. We'll start with the LSU Wire article. They have Trey'Dez Green. This makes sense. There's not many guys out there that are 6'7". He's an athletic freak. And a lot of people have said, okay, well, Bauer Sharp's coming in. It's a 2 tight end system. How is that going to affect Trey'Dez Green? I think it helps Trey'Dez Green a lot. Because Trey'Dez is not going to be your 3-point stance, hand in the dirt, traditional tight end. He's not. I don't think he's ever going to be that. With Bauer Sharp in the game, you can run a 2 tight end set, have Bauer play your more traditional spot, and move Trey'Dez Green out wide, where he is an absolute matchup nightmare. However, if you were out there at spring practices, Bauer Sharp's versatile too. I mean, there were times where he was lined up at slot receiver, running slants. I mean, he's not your run-of-the-mill, just average everyday tight end as well. Bauer Sharp can move around. So the versatility of both of those guys, I think, is going to make for a great duo all season long. It makes so much sense that Trey'Dez Green is on this list. The next pick is Tyree Adams, and I love this pick for obvious reasons. He's probably going to be your starting left tackle. Replacing Will Campbell is going to be a tough ask. I get that. But if you remember, Tyree Adams last season got hurt early in the year. And he's a guy that the coaching staff was high on. Like when he went down with an injury, Coach Kelly said, look, he may not be one of our starting 5, but it's a big-time injury because he's basically our 6th offensive lineman. I mean, if anybody goes down, they're going to do some rotating, and Tyree Adams is going to slide in there and be part of that starting offensive line. And that was an O-line with a lot of talent last year. They felt good enough about Tyree Adams then to be like, hey, he's our 6th guy. He's our swing man coming off the bench. This makes a ton of sense to me. All the talk in the offseason is going to be about the offensive line, and rightfully so. It's your biggest question mark. You have to replace Campbell and Emory Jones, guys that were bookend tackles for 3 years. You have to replace Garrett Dellinger, who played a ton of football. Miles Frazier came over and was really, really good for you when he transferred over from Florida International. I mean, he was a stable piece of that offensive line for multiple years. One of Brian Kelly's first big-time transfers that he brought over, like obviously outside of Jaden Daniels, but Miles Frazier made a big impact on this team. The only one you have coming back is DJ Chester, and that's where they go next. They say DJ Chester is going to have to break out. I get the versatility. I'm not sure if anyone would consider him a breakout player, though, in 2025. He's the guy you're the most sure about on the offensive line. He's the guy that when you look and you say, okay, whether it's guard, whether it's center, DJ Chester is going to fit somewhere on this offensive line. And I know everyone's going to say, oh, he wasn't great at center. Okay, that's fine. If you want to move him to guard, he was pretty good after the snap. You got to get the snap corrected if he is indeed going to play center. But after the snap, he was actually pretty good. And you need some sort of stability, some sort of leadership on the offensive line. I expect that to be DJ Chester. He's the only returning starter from a year ago. He's that steady presence. More than anyone on the offensive line, you need DJ Chester to be that steady presence. I think he's going to be that. And I get where they're going with this in terms of hey, these are guys you need to make a big impact. I'm not considering DJ Chester a breakout player just because I think I have a pretty good idea knowing what we're going to get from DJ Chester. A solid offensive lineman that can be versatile, that can play both guard spots and center. And he's going to start somewhere on your offensive line. I know what I'm getting with DJ Chester. Going back to Tyree Adams, that one makes a lot more sense because he's a little bit more of an X factor. One, he's going to have to play left tackle in all likelihood, blocking Garrett Nussmeier's blind side, which is super important. And he got some starts last season. He played well in the bowl game, but he has not been an everyday, every down SEC player. And he's going to have to do that on a team that has championship aspirations, on an offense that has a ton of weapons at skill position, that everyone's looking at that offensive line for someone to step up. Why can't it be Tyree Adams? As far as our guy Hunt Palmer at LouisianaSports.net, Hunt puts out 3 Tigers that could make all SEC. He also mentions Trey'Dez Green. Again, for the obvious reason, Trey'Dez is going to be a matchup nightmare. You saw it in the bowl game. When Mason Taylor didn't play in the bowl game, you saw Trey'Dez Green make a big impact. Called 2 touchdown passes in that game. And he was all over the field. He lined up at your traditional spot. He lined up in the slot. He even lined up out wide on some plays. I think in that bowl game, you saw a sneak peek of how Trey'Dez Green is going to be used this year. And it was actually more predictable what he was going to do in the bowl game because you didn't really have another tight end. Again, going back to Bauer Sharp. With Bauer Sharp in the game next to Trey'Dez Green, it makes everything a lot more confusing. Because, everyone's going to say, okay, well, Bauer's going to play the traditional tight end spot. That moves Trey'Dez Green out wide.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
Why can't they flip it? Because I promise you, Bauer Sharp's more athletic and more versatile than a lot of people think. You don't know who's going to line up where. That's what makes him so dangerous. Adding to the fact that he's an athletic freak at 6'7". That helps as well. The next name on this list, Hunt Palmer mentions Patrick Payton. I love this pick. He was very productive at Florida State. He is your most experienced pass rusher coming into the season. You want Jack Pyburn to become a pass rusher. Jack Pyburn came to LSU to be an every down player and a third down pass rusher. When you go look at Florida, overall his numbers were productive. He didn't rush the passer a ton. So while he's going to be on the edge and you think he's a sure tackler, he's a guy that's going to play hard for you like he did at Florida, you don't really know what he's going to do off the edge on third down pass rush situations. Same could be said with Jamari Butler. A little more so than Jack Pyburn. He's a little bit more proven as a pass rusher, but numbers-wise, I mean, Patrick Payton, by far the most productive transfer you brought in terms of guys that are going to rush the passer. And he's lean. He's 6'5", only about 220 pounds, but he can get around that edge. He's a fast guy. This makes sense. There was a mock draft about a couple months ago that came out, an early one, and like you don't look at mock drafts that early, but the point was they had 2 LSU players going in the first round. Garrett Nussmeier, who was going in the top 10, and then borderline first-round pick was Patrick Payton. That's what scouts think of him. That's the kind of impact some believe he could have on this team. Because I think the secondary is better. I really do. Pickett's coming in. Ashton Stamps is in his third year. You bring over Mansour Delane, Jakeem Jackson. You got 2 really, really productive players in Tamarcus Cooley and A.J. Halsey back there at safety. But every secondary, good, bad, somewhere in between, needs help from the pass rush. You have to get after the passer. Because that quarterback stands back there 4 or 5 seconds, he's going to pick apart the defense because eventually it doesn't matter how good your secondary is. Somebody's going to sneak open and the quarterback's going to find them because they're in a clean pocket. You have to have a pass rush. I think Patrick Payton can be that guy. Now, LSU's going to rotate a lot. I mean, I mentioned Butler. I mentioned Pyburn. Don't forget Gabriel Relaford, who showed some flashes a year ago. All of these guys are going to rotate, but I think when you need if you're in the Clemson game, you need somebody to get in there, rush the passer on third down in a big moment. Patrick Payton's getting the first crack at it. No question about it. Can he be this year's Braden Swinson? Remember the jump Swinson made year 1 to year 2 when he was under Kevin Peoples. Last year, Peoples came in after following Blake Baker from Missouri, and Braden Swinson was excellent. I mean, at the halfway point of the season, Braden Swinson was leading the SEC in sacks. Braden Swinson can play football. I think Patrick Payton can do the same thing because you're replacing Swinson on one side and Savion Jones on the other, who wasn't quite the elite pass rusher that Swinson was a year ago, but Savion Jones was a really good player. You have both of your edge positions that need to be filled. Now, you have 4 guys to take 2 spots. I think that's fine. I didn't even mention Damian Shanklin, who's coming in as a freshman. I think LSU did a really good job at the edge rusher spot, but maybe none bigger than Patrick Payton. The last name Hunt puts on this list, DJ Pickett, the 5-star true freshman cornerback. This pick is certainly based on potential, obviously, because he hasn't played a ton, but look, he has a ton of size. He's got the speed. He's about 6'3". DJ Pickett has the body to play corner or safety. I prefer to put him at corner. I think that's where he could have the biggest impact, at least on this year's team. Everyone expects him to be the next great Tigers DB. You have Corey Raymond back in the fold. If anybody can get it out of him, it's Corey Raymond. I'm not sure how much DJ Pickett's going to play this year. Part of me wants a DJ Pickett to come in, prove he's the best player right away and play. Part of me doesn't want DJ Pickett to play at all because you're not having to rely on a freshman. You hit on the transfers that you brought in. Your older guys that have been in the program for a number of years, they've stepped up as well. I get the pick. I don't hate it at all. DJ Pickett is a great selection. But is there anybody else being overlooked? As far as a breakout player next year, I would love for it to be Ashton Stamps. So I'm going to go corner, but a little bit different. He's your most experienced DB at LSU. Because he didn't start as a freshman or at least not most of the year, but he played in a lot of games and started towards the end of the year. If you remember, you were so beat up that year that kind of 2/3 through the season, you had JV and Toviano on one side, Ashton Stamps on the other, and you just kind of threw him in the fire. Performed well. Last year, he was a solid piece. Got overlooked a little bit because of the excellence that was Zy Alexander on the other side, but he showed promise. He took a step. He took a step from year 1 to year 2. It was a solid corner for you last year. Can he take another step? Can he be an elite player? Can he be the leader of that secondary group? He's essentially entering his 3rd year as a starter. Because, again, he played a ton as a freshman, was your starter all last season, comes in again this year. I'm hoping Ashton Stamps can lock down one of those cornerback spots. Like in an ideal world, Stamps has one side locked down. You have Mansour Delane, Jakeem Jackson, and DJ Pickett all fighting for the other spot because Stamps has been that good in camp. That is my hope. That should be every LSU fan's hope. Speaking of, like, you have Mansour Delane on the other side, and a lot of people expect him to be a stud. I get it. He was really good at Virginia Tech. A lot of people said he could play corner and safety. But he'll have to adjust to the SEC. Jakeem Jackson hasn't played a ton at Florida due to injury. DJ Pickett's a freshman. Ashton Stamps, like, for better or worse, is kind of that known commodity at this point. If he can lock down one side, it'll help settle down that other corner spot. You could go to Delane and be like, oh, Stamps will help you on the other side. If he's not working out, hey, let's throw in DJ Pickett, see what he's got. Let's give Jakeem Jackson a shot. But if you can lock down one side of your defense, that'll help everything else. And I think there's potential that Ashton Stamps could maybe be that guy. Like, you look, he doesn't have an interception in his 2 years playing here, but he had 14 passes defended last season. He was better than a lot of people think. And I get it. There were times where he got beat. There were times last year that everybody on the defense got beat. That's why it was shaky. I think that's going to improve this year. It's his 2nd year under Raymond. It's his 2nd year in the Blake Baker defense. Like, Ashton Stamps is a guy that I'm personally keeping an eye on. Maybe could be that breakout player for LSU's defense, obviously, at a very important position. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. When we get back, we got a lot still to hit on here on a Monday edition of Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
You know what's better than one Dos Equis?
Dos Equis?
Dos Equis. It's always a great time, and now is the perfect time. We still got some summertime here. Don't get the Sunday scaries about school starting and all the new things starting. Like, you still got some time, and it is the perfect time. Lake beer, river beer, beach beer does not, pool beer, golf course beer, airport beer does not matter. It is always a great time to go for Dos. And Matt will even give you the website.
DosEquis.com. So we're kind of Jake and I are kind of getting a reputation around here, like in the evening and at dinners and stuff, because they're like, we order Dos Equis like every time we go to the bar, and like people around us are like, hey dude, you don't have to, like, it's not the show. It's not a sponsorship opportunity. We're like, no. Like, we legit.
This is who we are.
This is what we drink. Like, we're Dos Equis. So jump on that bandwagon. Go for Dos this summer. A little bit of summer left. Go to the pool. Get some ice cold Dos Equis. Go for Dos.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
Welcome back in. Monday edition of Off the Bench. Taylor Sharp sitting in for Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn. We got just over 20 minutes left on today's show. There was a lot of different directions I could have went in this segment, but I do want to mention this because anytime someone who has made this big of an impact, not just on me, but all of LSU fans, decides to hang it up, it is something you want to mention. And if you saw it on Friday, LSU announced that legendary PA announcer for Tiger Stadium and the Pete Maravich Assembly Center, Dan Borne, is stepping away. He will no longer be the PA announcer inside Tiger Stadium. For me, it's another one of those things in life where it's like, I'm getting older. The things I enjoyed growing up that made me a Tiger fan are going away, and I'm not okay with it. But, you know, when you look back on it, like, I remember first LSU game I ever went to was LSU versus North Texas. And I wish I could remember the year, probably around 2000, 2001. I'm 28 years old, okay? So Dan Borne, only dress announcer inside Tiger Stadium that I have ever known, at least as far as I can remember. And, I mean, his voice has just been synonymous with so many big-time moments. Like, I remember, okay, obviously that was my first game, right? And we had season tickets when I was growing up. Me and my dad went to all the games together. I remember that. I remember when he would announce the Golden Band from Tigerland at halftime. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. You hear him announce the band, and they come out, and they make those notes that everyone in the stadium claps along with before the opening kickoff when the band comes out and does their thing. It's always Dan Borne's voice that you hear. I remember 2011. Everybody remembers the game dubbed the game of the century, right?
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.
LSU goes to Alabama. You win 9-6 in overtime. After that, LSU was in the driver's seat to make it to the national championship. And I remember LSU was running out of the tunnel. There was Les Miles doing his signature holdback when he's holding everybody back. Trying to make sure they all run out at the same time and a little bit for dramatic effect, obviously. Dan Borne got on the PA and said, here's your number one ranked Fighting Tigers of LSU. And everyone lost their mind. I mean, I can remember the game where the guy that sits in this chair, Jacob Hester, all the fourth down conversions against Florida. Dan Borne's voice is echoing through that stadium as it erupted. I mean, I remember that same season. Matt Flynn to Demetrius Byrd to beat Auburn with 2 seconds left. Like Dan Borne made all those calls. Like even in basketball. Like if you're not a big basketball fan, LSU's run to the Final Four under John Brady, when they won the SEC for the first time in forever under Will Wade, it was always Dan Borne. Like it's going to be different. It's never going to be the same. But when you look back on it, appreciate the moments that were there. Like when I think of LSU and Tiger Stadium, I think of Dan Borne. You remember the poem that he put out? It was the Pantheon of Concrete and Steel, the Cathedral of College Football. I mean, hell, they still play it on the TV before a lot of the home games. You'll hear him do the starting lineup with the guys on the big screen. You'll even hear him say penalized instead of penalized a lot in the stadium. Like, it's all the little moments that you're going to miss. And you just look back and you're like, man, like, 38 years, Dan Borne was the voice of Tiger Stadium. That's a good run for anybody. I don't know who's going to take over for Dan Borne. I don't know what it's going to sound like in the future. It's still going to be a great atmosphere because it's Tiger Stadium, because it's the best venue in all of college football. Because when you have Death Valley rocking at night, there's no other place like it. But it's never going to be the same without Dan Borne. Like, whatever flowers and coverage he gets, like, Dan Borne deserves. He's been a staple of that stadium. Like, it got to where, like, you know, if Dan's sick or something like that and would have to have a fill-in. Like, I remember the first time I heard a fill-in for Dan Borne, I was probably, I don't know, 11, 12 years old, probably 7th grade. And I didn't even hear the name on the PA. I didn't care. I didn't even care who it was. It was like, this is not Dan Borne. Something's missing. Doesn't sound right. Like, this is going to be a heck of an adjustment for a lot of people, but, like, he deserves it more than anybody. Like, Dan Borne has been the voice of Tiger Stadium for my entire life. Most of you out there listen, like Paul's entire life, Alondra's entire life. The guy's done it for 38 years. I'm 28 years old. That's all I've ever known. The stadium's still going to be great. It's still going to be an excellent atmosphere. But there will never be another Dan Borne. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We're going to break a little bit early. We're going to do an extended version of Ask the Bench. Get your questions in the chat. We're wrapping this thing up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. Buying new, leasing, renting, everything is available. If you need something bigger, the Sequoia, the Highlander, right there for you. The Sienna minivan, the Tundra, the Tacoma, if you're looking for a truck. Multiple sedans, multiple hybrids, multiple everything over at All-Star Toyota. And it's also buying new, leasing, renting, all the processes we talk about. Every single thing is available. If you're renting, call Miss Lisa Sessions today to check out the new and leasing options. Go to allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
Yeah, if you're in the market for a new car, you're just ready to get rid of that car you're driving around and right now listening to this show, go check them out. Toyota, you talk about reliable, you talk about safe, efficient, and whatever size you need, whatever, if you're hauling lumber, if you're hauling kids, if you're by yourself, you just want to look cool, go give them, see what they have today, see all the car models they have. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
Welcome back in. Final segment here on a Monday edition of Off the Bench. Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn out today. Taylor Sharp sitting in the host chair. We got about 10 minutes to go here on this Monday. We're going to hit you with a little Ask the Bench, so get your questions into the chat. We got a few right now. I'll throw this first one to Alondra, and then we can go a little back and forth on this one since we're both big country fans. Tristan Abair says, Ask the Bench, one of the Barstool shows did a greatest female country song draft last week. What would be your 1-1? So the song you would draft first overall. Alondra, you want to take this one?
I don't know. There's so many good ones. Like, I love Pam Tillis. Don't Tell Me What to Do is a good one. Suds in the Bucket's a good one. Shania Twain, Never Goes Wrong.
Yeah, like Feel Like a Woman is still iconic to this day. Like that's one of the first ones I thought of.
I don't know. That one's like super played out. But the what's that one Shania Twain song? It's not that one. The other. Okay, I can't think of the name.
The slow one?
No, I can't think of the name of it right now. Hold on.
For me, yeah, Shania Twain.
Any Man of Mine.
Any Man of Mine is another great one. Reba McEntire. Anything Reba McEntire is going to be up there. I mean, there's so many. Like Loretta Lynn, if you want to go way back. Like Loretta Lynn's up there. Lori Morgan's up there.
I mean, the Judds.
The Judds are up there. I'll tell you what I'll throw out there that would not get picked 1-1. May not even be my pick 1-1. But it's just a song that every time I hear him listen to it all the way through. Strawberry Wine by Dina Carter.
Oh, yeah, that's a banger.
Like again, and that's one that not a lot of people think about. Because like Dina Carter didn't put out a ton after that. She had some songs after that. Like the longevity wasn't quite there, but like Strawberry Wine by Dina Carter, that is a top 5 female country song for me. That might be a top 5 country song, male or female. Like that song there is just a phenomenal one. Like that's definitely on there. I don't know if it's my
Redneck Woman by Gretchen Wilson's a banger.
Redneck Woman's up there. Like there's a lot. This is a lot tougher question than I thought it was going to be. Here's another Ask the Bench. Ask the Bench, will Big Noon Kickoff overtake College Game Day with the addition of T-Bob Abear? Okay. We love our guy T-Bob here, obviously. I mean, I said Jake and T-Bob on Friday twice instead of Jake and Matt, and Alondra accidentally played a live read with T-Bob in it. Like, we can't get him out of our head here on OTB.
I just picked the wrong one.
No, we are not. Big Noon Kickoff will not overtake College Game Day. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, I promise you, first off, Big Noon Kickoff is going to be a lot more Big Ten Central. College Game Day is way more nationwide, and it's the guest pickers on College Game Day. It's the music. It's the Home Depot hard hats that you get. It's intro and an outro through commercials. It's panning through the crowd. Like, it's everything on College Game Day. It's not just the host up there. I know a lot of people, like, there are a lot of people that really do not like Pat McAfee on College Game Day. I think McAfee actually does a really good job on College Game Day. Like, you know, we had talked about Lee Corso a while back, announcing he's stepping away. Like, Ohio State, Texas is going to be his last game. A few years ago, let's talk about this with my dad, because like me and him watch College Game Day every Saturday when I was growing up. It's one of the reasons I fell in love with college football. We were like, man, you know, like Corso, like it's like he's about to hang it up. Like, there's not a ton of years left that he's going to be able to do this. Who can do it? And like one of the first names I threw out there was Pat McAfee's entertaining. Got a heck of a podcast. Like Pat McAfee's a guy out there, and I know a lot of people don't like him. I think he brings a lot of energy to that show. Like him and Saban together could not be more different personality-wise, but I think they work so well together. You can actually tell they get along. They got to sit right next to each other on the desk. And then you got Herb Street, who's as locked in as anybody else. Reese Davis is a great host. You have Desmond Howard, a former Heisman winner. Like, everything on that show fits so perfectly together, in my opinion. Like, again, everybody's like, oh, McAfee's too silly. You need a little bit of that. Like, without McAfee, of course, so hanging it up, like, the show's way too buttoned up. You need a little bit of a mixture of both. Saban's going to give you all the X's and O's. Kirby's going to give you all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Desmond Howard's going to give you the Heisman-winning type player view of everything. And McAfee's there for entertainment purposes. Like, I think it's the perfect mix of everyone. No. Big Noon Kickoff is not going to overtake College Game Day. Like, I promise you, Big Noon Kickoffs at a premier Big Ten school and College Game Day wants to come in, they're booting Big Noon Kickoff. Like, there's no question about it. It's not even close. Like, respect to those guys. They've built something pretty good over there. It ain't College Game Day. Ask the bench, are you buying the new version of the NCAA Football 26 game? I already have it. I don't know if Alondra and Paul play this game. I already have it. I bought it, I guess, the day it came out. I bought it. I was excited that you're going to get to play in high school as far as the Road to Glory. If you hadn't played it yet, spoiler alert, the high school is not that great in it. You play 5 games, but everything's scripted. It's like, to earn points to get an offer from this school, you gotta throw a play action pass for a first down here. Like, you can't just go out there and free play. It's all scripted. You have to do this in this moment. It's like, it's fine, but to me, it kind of takes away. Like, you're so focused on doing the moment, you're not really like playing the game. Like, I was a little underwhelmed on that. I mean, college football is college football. I'm not gonna not play it. I haven't done Dynasty yet at all. Like, I don't do a ton of Dynasty. That takes up a ton of time. I'm somebody that has a pretty busy schedule. I don't have a ton of time, as most people here in this building are the same way. But I don't know. It's kind of whatever to me. Like, we were talking the other day, me and Jordan, when he was filling in when I was hosting AFR, he was doing audio. We were like, everybody was excited about the college football video game, but when you look back on it, like, college football 25, like, wasn't actually a very good game. There wasn't a whole lot you could do. Like, there wasn't any game modes. You could do Road to Glory straight into college. It's kind of boring. And then, like, Dynasty was okay, and that's really all you could do. Like, they added a few features here in 26, but it's not that great. Ask the bench. Would Alondra ever take a Kelsey Plum shot at Rivers?
I mean,
it
depends, right? Like, it depends.
Yeah. Like, what did she do? Like,
As of now, no.
Same situation? No, probably not. Because, like, Alondra just criticized her for how she handled that situation. So, exact same, no. But, I mean, really, if she's talking that noise, Alondra ain't afraid to talk that noise back.
True.
It depends.
It really depends.
Yeah, like, it depends on what happened. Ask the bench, who is taking T-Bob's place on Whiskey and Wine? Full disclosure, we don't actually know. Like, Matt was actually talking about this a couple weeks ago. He's like, we don't know what we're going to do. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll cross that road when we get there. No idea. I don't think it's going to be the same. It might be a little bit different. They'll announce more as we get closer to that opening game at the end of August. But as of right now, nobody. Like, that's kind of where we're at the moment. All right, that's pretty much going to do it for today's episode of Off the Bench. We had a jam-packed show. We talked a ton of LSU football. The media poll of all SEC first, second, and third team came out. The projected order of finish, LSU Tigers projected to finish 4th there. Tyler Shuck got his new contract with the New Orleans Saints. Fully guaranteed deal, first time ever for a 40th overall pick. He's going to be out there at training camp battling it out with Spencer Rattler. Look, we had Ross Jackson come on. He broke down everything at Saints training camp. There's a lot to look at. Like, obviously, we're going to mention the quarterback battle, but the offensive line's a huge question mark. You spent a lot of draft capital, 4 first-round picks and a second-round pick on the O-line. How good are they going to be? What is your receiver depth going to look like after your first 3? Who the hell is going to start at corner for the New Orleans Saints? What's the defensive line, the linebackers going to look like? We broke it down all with Ross. We had Devin Snow come on the show. He kind of recapped his time at UFC 318, as did Alondra. Like, huge event in New Orleans. For those that didn't hear it earlier, the Smoothie King Center completely sold out, and it was the highest gate in terms of money made for any event in the Smoothie King Center ever. Obviously, it wasn't going to be the New Orleans Pelicans because people don't go to New Orleans Pelicans games, but of any concert and event, UFC 318 by far the most. I think they've done enough to get another event in New Orleans. We'll see. Look, we talked Dan Borne hanging it up after 38 years. We don't know who his replacement's going to be yet. I'm sure more information is going to trickle out before football season. Like, the impact that Dan Borne has made on so many Tiger fans inside the stadium, it's hard to replicate. Like, we hit on so much. Jake and Matt will be back tomorrow. They have a ton to recap. Like, they gotta talk Saints training camp as it's coming up. They gotta recap their time in Atlanta. There is so much to break down. We got a busy week. I imagine we're still gonna have Nick Underhill tomorrow as well. Stay tuned for all of that. They are back the rest of the week. So we finally got the full crew back in studio for the first time in about 2 weeks. So stay tuned for all of that and more. Again, ton of LSU, ton of Saints. You can catch all of that on the OTB Saints and OTB LSU YouTube channels. That's going to do it. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
All right, go to yourgoodwood.com. Yourgoodwood.com is the website for Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Bottom right corner of the website, you can get that consultation booked. You can find a full list of services. You can find pricing as well. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. It is right there on Drusilla Lane. That number to give them a call to set that consultation up, 225-4GD-WOOD. If you have a problem, help Goodwood get to the bottom of it. How will you do that? You'll book that consultation, live life without fear or embarrassment. Yourgoodwood.com.
Yeah, don't settle for mediocrity. We're all human. We all have issues. There's people out there that can fix it, and that is at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Yourgoodwood.com. Schedule that consultation. Go to their website, see their pricing, their services. Start their treatment for $125 per month, people. Yourgoodwood.com. Check them out.
This podcast is sponsored by Talkspace. You know when you're really stressed or not feeling so great about your life or about yourself? Talking to someone who understands can really help. But who is that person? How do you find them? Where do you even start? Talkspace. Talkspace makes it easy to get the support you need. With Talkspace, you can go online, answer a few questions about your preferences, and be matched with a therapist. And because you'll meet your therapist online, you don't have to take time off work or arrange childcare. You'll meet on your schedule, wherever you feel most at ease. If you're depressed, stressed, struggling with a relationship, or if you want some counseling for you and your partner, or just need a little extra one-on-one support, Talkspace is here for you. Plus, Talkspace works with most major insurers, and most insured members have a $0 copay. No insurance? No problem. Now get $80 off of your first month with promo code SPACE80 when you go to Talkspace.com. Match with a licensed therapist today at Talkspace.com. Save $80 with code SPACE80 at Talkspace.com.